Hello everyone, this is Rabbitearsblog, and today I'm reviewing my first book review. Not my first comic book review since Astonishing X-Men was the first, and it is a children's book called Klutz by Henrik Drescher. Before I get into what I liked and hated about this book, I would like to give a brief summary about this book. Meet the Klutz family. They're wacky, unique, and very, very clumsy. From morning until dusk, the Klutz family trip their way throughout their lives, such as tripping over certain obstacles or tripping down the stairs at the croak of dawn. Because of the family's obvious clumsiness, their neighbors call them Lumpus Yokos. One night when the Klutz family drove home, they crashed into a traveling circus caravan called Professor Squirmworm's Magic Circus Caravan. And when the owner of the circus, Professor Squirmworm himself, encountered the Klutz family, he was ecstatic at meeting them and decided to make them into clowns for his circus. The Klutz family was doing fun until one day Leonora, the lion tamer, wanted to see what the Klutz family's feet looked like since the family has been wearing big black clunky boots since they were born. What is the secret of the Klutz family's big clunky boots? Read this book to find out. For those of you who haven't heard of Henrik Drescher's work before, you might recognize his work from the Reading Rainbow episode entitled Simon's Book, where LeVar Burton interviewed author Henrik Drescher on his book, Simon's Book. I have to say that Klutz was a truly unique and hilarious picture book to read because the illustrations are fun to look at and are truly surreal. I have always loved surreal illustrations because they bring something unique to a picture book or any kind of book, and seeing Henrik Drescher's surreal illustrations was probably this book's highest point. The Klutz family is shown to have long and rubber limbs, which obviously prevent them from getting hurt wherever they trip over themselves, and they have short little point teeth and long, large candy-striped noses, which truly makes them look like real clowns. I also love Henrik Drescher's writing of the stories, as it is truly creative and hilarious. I mean, what other children's book is about a family that wears big black clunky boots their whole lives and spend most of their lives tripping over themselves wherever they go? I love how the words sort of curled around the pages, which really made this book fun to read. I enjoy the theme of this book, and it's basically telling children to just be themselves. The Klutz family is extremely clumsy, and therefore undergo a lot of ridicule from their neighbors. However, the Klutz family always has huge smiles on their faces, so these activities become normal for them, and they don't seem to care about what other people think about them. It's a great theme because it can relate to absolutely anyone who has a hobby or characteristics that other people might find weird, but it makes you who you are, and you shouldn't have to care about what other people think about you. Now, for what bothered me about this book? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I love this book too much, and both the story and the illustrations were highly creative. The characters were engaging and hilarious at the same time, and I found myself engaged in this book immensely. I guess the only problem with this book is that it all depends on how you feel about surreal art as a whole. The illustrations in this book are extremely surreal and odd, and if you're not a huge fan of surreal art, then you might have problems reading this book. But if you love surreal art and you love hilarious children's books, then you might definitely enjoy this book. Overall, I give Klutz a 5 out of 5. Definitely an awesome children's book filled with good humor and creative illustrations. And if you are looking for a children's book to read to your child, I would highly recommend Klutz by Henrik Drescher. Well, that's my review on the children's book Klutz by Henrik Drescher. And be sure to check out my other reviews from my random review series. See you later.